Welcome to the Andy Ruther Show. Here is your host, Andy Ruther.
Welcome back to the Andy Ruther Show. That is me, Andy Ruther, on this lovely Thursday evening here in Cincinnati, Ohio. A little summer heat is starting to heat up. Summer is my worst, probably my worst season here in Cincinnati. I don't know. I say this all the time, just the humidity, yada, yada, yada. But we got big news here. Big news I'm just going to jump into out the gate. We have some black bear sightings here in Cincinnati, which is a big deal. I don't think this has ever happened. Not only in Cincinnati, in my little township, my side, the east side of the city. I can't get enough of it. like I think it's it's a big deal. Brittany doesn't care. I brought it up last night. I was like, they sighted a black bear in our little area, Anderson Township. She doesn't even really look up from her phone. Tonight I brought it up again. I go, that's kind of a big deal. I did a little diving. This is what I do. Did a little digging, a little rabbit hole. I guess the bears have now, overpopulation being moved out. It's like any sort of animal. You see this everywhere, right? With humans and our population just infringing on nature, all those things. I guess they're moving farther westward now from the East Coast. So they are now starting to populate in Ohio. Who knew? Who knew the black bears are here? And I'm not talking about the dudes who are celebrating Pride, those black bears. It's June. Different type of black bears. If you know, you know. But these black bears they're moving west. We always knew about the bear, for people who don't know the area, like the Appalachian Mountains, which is not too far from me, right? I head down south, a little southeast. You hit Tennessee, parts of, I don't know if any part of Kentucky gets the Appalachian Mountains, maybe, probably. North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia. And then obviously if you go up, up north and east in those states as well. So whatever, it's not that far. Like when you travel from Cincinnati and you go down, let's say through Tennessee, you hit the Appalachian Mountains and you always knew oh yeah, black bears, bear country, whatever. But this area, no. In fact, I looked it up. I guess bears basically became non-existent in the state of Ohio around the 1850s. For a variety of reasons, but they're not here. They weren't here. You didn't grow up talking about bears, having to deal with bears or how you would handle an encounter with a bear. Well, guess what? They back. They up in here. So I think it's kind of cool. Also, I'm reading, what would you do? What do you do if you see a black bear? What's the reaction? Because I know in some of the bears, you're supposed to act dead. Not the black bear. Apparently, they'll normally run off. You're supposed to not look them in the eye. They should get scared. And if they don't, you're supposed to act bigger than you are with the black bear. Clearly, I had a busy day today. No, I just went down it for a few minutes. Just a few minutes. I was like, I got to be prepared. They spotted one literally in my area. They say estimates say there's about 50, not many, but 50 to 100 black bears living in Ohio. And you know how these things work. It's just going to slowly or quickly increase. Probably the next 15, 20 years. I might have one living in my deck. I might have one in my backyard. I don't know. It might be a normal thing for my girls growing up. I don't know. All I know, guys, is the black bears are here. So I'm a little excited. It's a new animal. This is the stage of my life. I get excited over this stuff. It's a minor thing, but it's a fun thing for me. It's a cool thing for me. A lot going on in this world. There's a lot going on outside of my bubble, but the black bear thing is a thing. So that's what's going on. That's what some of my news, that's what my news circle is right now, reading about the black bears. So Brittany tonight ran out of gas. How does that happen? I mean, I have so many questions. She's embarrassed. She didn't want to talk about it, but I had so many questions for her, guys. So many questions. She called me at precisely 5:40 p.m. tonight. It's a Thursday night. And she said, I'm on Beachmont Avenue. I'm about to make a left turn into Anderson Town Center where the Kroger is, and I ran out of gas. She goes, what do I do? And at the time, I got Molly and Isla at dinner, and I'm feeding them a little chicken Alfredo. Staple meal, by the way. Clutch meal for the girls. The girls are fans. Grilled up a bunch of chicken yesterday so we could meal prep a little. Got the whole wheat pasta. It's good fiber. Helps the girls poop. Helps me poop, to be honest. Helps us all poop. It's full of fiber. It's a good staple meal, the chicken Alfredo. Throw in some of the Texas toast garlic bread and the air fryer. It's a good little meal. It's a good, quick, easy little meal. Again, especially if you grill the chicken within a day or two before that, you get some homemade chicken. It's a good little meal. Anyway, me and my girls were knee deep in chicken Alfredo when Brittany calls me and says she ran out of gas. She says, what do I do? I said, well, there's nothing I can do. I'm not throwing a 3-year-old and a 17-month-old in the minivan. I said, you're right by the Kroger. You're making a left turn into that little strip mall. It's not a strip mall, but basically it's a strip mall. I said, put on your hazards. Walk into the Kroger or walk to the Kroger, get a gas can, fill it up at the Kroger gas station right there, walk back. I was pretty short with her. She hung up on me, basically. I just what am I supposed to do in that situation, guys? I understand she's pregnant. She's very pregnant at this point, right? Baby's due in 2 months. In fact, I think our C-section is scheduled for August 26th. So basically 2 months. I was also annoyed. I had a long day. I picked Isla up from daycare. I had half a day of work. I picked Isla up from daycare early to take her to my brother's. She had a dental appointment. I had a long day with Isla. Kids are exhausting. It's what am I doing here? She regretted calling me. I should never have called you. Yeah, because I'm going to make fun of you for the rest of your life. How do you, guys, that's what I'm just trying to wrap my head around. And she's so annoying because I keep bringing it up. I could just go, how does this happen? A pregnancy brain? Well, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I've done some, lack of sleep will do that, but I don't think that's an issue right now. It will be here when we have baby number 3. I said, at what point did you realize you were low on gas? This is what I want to get my head around. At what point did you realize you were going to run out of gas? She's like, well, I knew I had to get gas when I went into work this morning. I said, then get it. Then get it. What are we doing here? You're 7+ months pregnant? We're going to play Russian roulette with our car's gas? Got a little bun in the oven? What are we doing here? And she's like, it said it was 20 miles. And then when I got in the car after work, the miles didn't even show. It just basically was telling me I needed to get it. I said, then you get the gas. 37 years old running out of gas? You're a mother? You're a pharmacist? That's what blows my mind, right? Because she's smart. Very smart woman. She went through pharmacy school. She has her PhD. You're a smart woman. How do you let this happen? And you know what? The truth is I thought about it, but then I didn't because I was I'm dealing with these kids. In my head, I go, okay, she's not that bad. It's a busy intersection for our little suburb. In my head, I was like, okay, so she's out of gas. She's gonna end up getting a ticket from a cop. I don't know if they do that, but I thought because she's gonna cause a traffic issue. 5:40, right? Rush hour. In my head, she's gonna come home with a ticket. She didn't. I guess she walked over there. They were out of gas cans. I guess the guy working the Kroger gas station was like, I got one container back here. I'll just give it to you. She didn't even know how to fill it up. I guess some guy at the Kroger gas station filled it up for her. She came home. She's like, I don't want to talk about it. I'm so embarrassed. I was like, well, I'm going to make fun of you all the time. And then her mom called and I'm screaming down from the upstairs, giving Molly a bath. Like, tell your mom what you did. She didn't say anything, but I could still hear her on speaker. I was like, call me back. Her mom called me instantly. I told her mom. She's like, you guys are being so, she always kept saying rude. You guys are being so rude. This isn't funny. I was like, it is funny and you have to live with it. It's harmless fun. You're a 37-year-old woman with 2 children. You ran out of gas. How does that even happen? I said that to her tonight. I said, how does that happen? She's like, well, I was on the phone with my mom. And I was like, oh man, like time, like I was kind of day drifting as I was in the car, just talking to her about dresses for her future sister-in-law's wedding. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. Like you're talking about dresses and then you just realize, boom, no gas. I ran out of gas once, and it wasn't my car. It was in high school. I was driving a buddy's car. I wasn't, so I wasn't paying attention. And we were driving to some party. I forget why. I think we were at one of our high school basketball games and my buddy was going with somebody else. And he's like, just take my car to the party. And I had some girl I was friends with and it ran out of gas. And the joke was, oh, Ruther did that on purpose. to try to hook up with the girl in the car or something. But like, that's the one time my car ran out of gas when I was 17. That's what I'm saying to Brittany. Like, how do you run out of gas? How is this possible? Whatever. I guess it is. Everything's good. She came home. I was like, I got to give Molly a bath. Molly puked everywhere again last night, guys. I don't know what to do. We don't know what to do. She gets so worked up. You put her, I mean, it's the same cycle that I've been preaching for I don't know how long, her whole life. You put her down, she wakes up 20 to 30 minutes later. You're supposed to let him cry it out. You can't because she gets up like a psychopath and just starts just grabbing the bars on her crib, screaming. And if you don't go in there soon enough, she will yak up. Yesterday, she just yacked up all her food. McDonald's French fries, to be honest. Got the girls a couple Happy Meals after work. Didn't have time to cook any food. So, yeah. Those McFries came up over McMouth and all over my McFloor. And I was very McMad. Very McAnnoyed. Do they even call them McFries? I don't even think they call them McFries. You get the point, though. Just huge chunks of McDonald's French fries all over her bed, all over the floor. Everything. And now I'm just like angrily in ChatGPT, like, you led me the wrong way on her, blah, blah, blah. She's probably done this now. Since Molly started eating solid foods, let's see here, she's 17 months old now. So she's probably been in the solid food game for about a little over 9 months. She's probably puked up full meals. Again, we're not talking bottle spit, milk spit. That's whatever. That's easy. We're talking like puking up full meals like this. She's done it like 10 to 12 times. And it's always she's never done it at school. This is just from getting so worked up. And it's the word I always use is it's morally deflating. It's mentally deflating. It's demoralizing. It truly is. It's the San Antonio Spurs blowing a 27-point lead to the New York Knicks. And you go, they ain't coming back from that. They're not bouncing back from that in this series. That's how I feel with her all the time. With Isla, you said, hey, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. We just don't see it with her because it's no different now at 17 months than it was at 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, just and on and on. You're just like, when is this going to end? When can you just sleep through the night on your own? When do we not have to go in there? And she's always sick. Always. Always sick. Isla was sick. Molly is always sick. She's got the worst runny nose now. She's got teething for the millionth time. Just get your teeth already. Cough, cold, congestion, and all that factors into why she's vomiting for sure. But it's just, again, it's morally deflating, especially having another kid on the way. And that's my thing, truthfully. That's why, like, I've been frantic on ChatGPT trying to figure this out, trying to get her to sleep. Because, we know how just much chaos a baby causes, right? It's just so hectic with the baby. So you're just going to throw a third into this. And I'm not feeling sorry for ourselves. Like, we chose this. We chose this life. We chose to have 3 kids in 3.5 years. It's not easy. We chose all this. Doesn't mean it's easy. Does not mean it's easy. I just want to see some progress. She had like a few good weeks in April. The problem again is she just gets so congested in the runny nose, and that contributes to the vomiting. So then you can't let her cry it out. Because if she doesn't have that, you can let her cry it out, and then she'll figure it out. But when she has this, she's more prone to vomit, and it's just this never-ending cycle. And she's so far up my ass too. The attachment, and you just go, you're about to be number 2, man. I tell her that to her face. I'm like, you're gonna be number 2. You're gonna be the middle kid. I'm sorry, but that's how it's gonna whirl. That's how the chips they're falling. You're gonna be kid number 2 out of 3. It's just like, it's literally just, I know I've said this a million times and you're probably sick of hearing it. It's just so exhausting. And she's a lunatic too. Like, besides bedtime, she's crazy. They talk about the second kid being nuts. She is. She's nuts, dude. She's crazy. I just don't get it because there's no issues with her napping on the weekends. There's none of this fight. There's none of this vomit. There's none of these battles that we have every single night. Like tonight. How many times did I go in there? 2? Brittany went in there once after we put her down. So we're still battling for the first hour, hour and a half to get her to sleep. Meanwhile, Isla's going psycho because she didn't get a nap today, and she's doing her, 3-nager stuff, just acting like a total twat. You're just like, God, just one night. But I've realized, like, I can't even sleep in anymore. No lie, I can't sleep in. Brittany for Father's Day said, what do you want? I said, I'd love to do some stuff in the yard, truthfully, and just let me sleep in a little. I couldn't sleep in, guys. Normally, I'm up around 6:45 every day. 6:30 to 6:45, because kids are such assholes. They like to wake up earlier on the weekends. So I feel like Molly's been getting up around 6:30 on the weekends. So I'm normally up around then, right? Because I handle the kids in the morning. Brittany's very preggers. She gets a free pass, which is probably fair, right? So I said, I just want to sleep in on Father's Day. I just couldn't do it. Brittany probably got up around 6:45 to get Molly, change her, give her some morning milk. From like 6:45 to 8:30 or 8:45, I was literally waking up every 20 minutes. I couldn't regulate my body just to go back to sleep for another 2 hours, which would have been glorious. It's just I was falling into deep sleep, which was nice, but every 20 minutes, I just kept waking up. I'd fall into a deep sleep, wake up 20 minutes, fall into a deep sleep. And the girls weren't loud. I didn't hear them. Didn't hear them. Brittany was all sweet. I guess, they went and got some donuts for me. But then I just felt lethargic. It was weird. So I still had actually more sleep, but I still felt lethargic on Sunday. But it was a nice Father's Day. It was a great Father's Day, to be honest. It was really nice. Brittany wrote me a real sweet card. She got me a power washer. Women are so funny. She's like, so what do you want to do? It's your day. I was like, I want to bust out this power washer. So I bought a power washer the week of Memorial Day from Costco. One of the few times Costco has failed me. Both Brittany and I couldn't get it to work. And I'm an idiot when it comes to this stuff. Like when it comes to anything handy, putting stuff together, I'm terrible. She's great. Brittany's great. Again, she's kind of an enigma. Pharmacist, yet runs out of gas. But can put things together. Knows what she's doing. With that being said, we couldn't figure out. It was driving me crazy. All I wanted to do, the only thing I wanted to do Memorial Day weekend was power wash my deck, because the pollen here gets so bad, it literally cakes the deck every spring in yellow. I'm not exaggerating. Like the deck literally gets yellow. If you stepped on with a shoe and lifted up your shoe, it'd be yellow on the soles of your shoe. The covers on our deck furniture get yellow. So I was like, I just want to clean all this off Memorial Day weekend to have, because a hose doesn't work. I tried it last year. A hose does not work. I want to power wash this thing. It's got to be sprayed good and hard. That's what she said. We couldn't figure it out. We couldn't get it to work. And it was like it legit. And this is where I have a lot of issues as a person that I need to work on. It was legit putting me in a bad mood. I was angry. I remember being so short with my kids, short with Brittany that weekend, because I couldn't. I must have watched a YouTube video a million times. Kept messing with it. Couldn't figure it out. So anyway, I ended up returning it. And the lady at Costco actually goes, we've had issues with this. It's an electronic power washer. So, long story, which I just gave you. Big backstory. Brittany ended up getting me a power washer for Father's Day. A better one. A little smaller Greenworks one from Home Depot. And it works great. It works great. And I said, all I want to do on Father's Day is power wash that deck. And I did. And then I power washed our Connect 4. Then I power washed some of the furniture. I power washed the girls' water table. You know where this is going. And I started power washing some stuff by our grill. A little cobblestone out there. There's something about, I don't know what it is. Any man can attest this. There's something about holding that power washer. It gives you just feel like a dude. Feel like a boss. Feel like a man. Just spraying off things, cleaning it off with this big old hose. I don't know if it's a sexual thing, truthfully. I don't know if that's a symbol for like a phallic, for like the penis. I'm being serious. I don't know. I would love to have a psychologist break this down. But there's just something where you have a machismo, you have a manliness to you, which is ridiculous because all you're doing is cleaning. You're just spraying something off that's dirty, spraying something full of dust, pollen. But God, did I feel good, guys. I'll be honest. I was literally in my yard all day Sunday, all day out on the deck. Because we couldn't, no lie, the last month plus, we couldn't go on my deck. It's just the pollen was so gross. I just can't, you hated it. So I power washed everything, and it felt so good that my girls could just play on the deck. It did. Again, they could have played before, but the pollen was just so nasty. I felt so good. I truly did. I was like, Sunday night, I'm just going to sit on the deck and just do a dad thing, do a Walt Ruther thing, do my dad thing, and just sit. No music, just sit comfortably on the deck. And then it started raining. And then it started pouring down rain, and I was like, the deck has a cover, but I'm not messing with this. I thought it would be a nice night, and it was a nice day, so that's okay. But it was nice. It was nice to power wash everything. It was a nice Father's Day. I grilled out, again, women are funny. She's like, "What do you want to do for dinner?" I was like, you're going out, right, to get a spray tan, doing whatever you're doing. I said, excuse me. I said, pop into Kroger. This is the same one where she ran out of gas, by the way. Pop into Kroger and just get some meat. I'll grill out some meat for the fam. That'd be a nice Father's Day for me. I'll grill out some burgers for you guys. I also have some jalapeno cheddar bratwurst from Costco. Just sitting in the queue, ready to be grilled. So I'll grill out some of that stuff. And I did. It was a nice Father's Day. And then I messed with the power washer even more after dinner. I just, it was a thing. But I did learn, thank God her dad told me, like, don't go use there's different nozzles there. Don't do the one that's crazy because it'll chip the paint, it'll pull off the stained deck. Again, I don't know what the feeling is with the power washer. It's just a feeling, and it feels nice. Feels nice. You feel like a man. You feel like you accomplished something. And I think it has something to do with instant gratitude from a psychological aspect. The same way when you cut the grass, it's instant gratitude. You're quickly seeing a before and an after product. It's not months of training to lose weight, months of training to learn a new language, whatever it is. It's instant gratitude. And I think that's why the power washer is such a great feeling. Anyway, what else happened over the weekend? I sold my car. I sold the Corolla Hatch. And I'll be straight with you guys. It kind of hit me. It did. It didn't kind of. It hit me. It tugged at my heart a little. I love that car. That car was made. Everybody made fun of my little Corolla hatchback. Everybody. Brittany, my brothers, Brittany's brothers. Everybody made fun of my car. But the thing is, I love that car. That was my little beach car. My little California beach car. My Venice beach car that could fit into any parking spot because it's tiny. It had great gas mileage. Low miles overall, runs great. They're Toyotas. They're efficient cars. I believe the Corolla is the top selling car for Toyotas, either that or the Camry. It's a great car. It's a great little car. It's practical. It's not expensive. I loved that little Corolla hatchback. I loved it. But obviously I can't have it for 3 kids. It was already tight with 2 kids. So I got rid of it. I sold it to CarMax on Saturday. Had it for about 7.5 years. So I had a nice little run. Got it in January of 2019. So almost 7.5 years. It was a great little car. And then I started thinking about all the memories that I had with the car. Truthfully, I didn't really think about it till the day I got rid of it. Had a lot of fun road trips. That's what I'm saying. Like that car literally has memories. I don't think it's corny to say, yeah, it was a thing, man. I mean, just in California, I was thinking I drove that car all over. I drove that car multiple trips to Las Vegas, multiple trips in California, up to San Francisco. My mom's last trip to California was in that car, right? So, I mean, it hits home. Like, there's great memories in all those trips. There's great memories of my mom visiting me, us whipping around in a little hatch, going up the California coast, driving it down to Long Beach to get on a boat to go to Catalina Island for a few days. That car has great memories. Going to Palm Springs. going to Red Spring training in Arizona, then leaving California and driving that car all the way across the country with my brother Elliot, my oldest brother. Right? That's a memory. It's a great memory. A cross-country travel with your brother in a little hatchback just packed to the brim full of stuff. So then my mind started thinking about that road trip and driving back and like what was going on in my head after just losing my parents and most recently at that time my dad, and literally moving back, picking up myself and driving with my brother from Los Angeles to Cincinnati. That car was great, man. And those things retain value, guys. They straight up retain value. Especially me, who only had, I didn't even have 66,000 miles on it in 7.5 years, including all these trips. I did the math. I had like a proud moment when I did the math. I was like, this feels good. So I sold the car. Again, it was a base level car. Cloth seats, everything base. There was nothing, no real bells and whistles, most base level. And I remember at the time, Apple CarPlay was relatively new. And I think I've talked about this. Like, that's what I was geeked about, is that now all the cars have that, but it was relatively new and it had Apple CarPlay, and I was geeked. And I was like, I felt like, oh, yeah, this is cool. That's what I loved about it. But I did the math. After selling the car and then doing the numbers for what the car cost me, I only paid for 7.5 years to own that car. I paid $114 a month. Talk about a deal. I paid in total, and this is including taxes, by the way. When I was on a 3-year lease, and then I bought the car outright after the lease. $114 cash is what that car cost me. Sorry, $114 a month. So, I mean, again, I'm just proving the point. I resold it for a great value. And it was a great value the whole time I had it. It held up well. It drives well. Great gas mileage. So, yeah, there is a part of me this week. I love the Kia Carnival. I love my minivan. Which, by the way, went to Chick-fil-A today. I noticed the receipt because they, put in what the car is. Since you give them your order, not in an actual drive-through. I noticed in the receipt she put black SUV Kia. I was like, interesting. This is the debate. Is it a minivan? Is it an SUV? I don't know. The Kia Carnival is like the they, them of cars. You're like, is it a he? Is it a she? No, we're just going to say they, them. That's going to be the correct term here. That's basically what the Kia Carnival is. Is it a minivan? Is it an SUV? Is it a utility vehicle? No, it's just a they, them. It's a they, them of cars. I did notice that at Chick-fil-A today, which, by the way, I mean, the efficiency of Chick-fil-A is just, it's pretty mind-blowing how good they are. It's pretty mind-blowing. And they're so happy. Dude, you go to fast food restaurants now, they're just the angry. Like when I went to McDonald's yesterday, I've talked about this a million times. She opens the drive-thru and just gives me the 2 or apple juices. Because I went through to pick up food for my girls. So I had 2 Happy Meals. She just gives me the apple. Doesn't say hello. There's nothing. Absolutely nothing. She gives me nothing. Just gives me 2 apple juices. Closes the drive-thru window. Doesn't say a word. So I'm just left here feeling awkward. 5 minutes later, opens the drive-thru window and says, "Did you have the 2 Happy Meals?" Yeah, I did. I mean, you gave me 2 apple juice boxes. It would probably be me. There's 2 kids' car seats right now full of kids. It's probably me. Just hands me the 2 kids' Happy Meals. Doesn't say anything. Anyway, I'm digressing, guys. The point is, I loved the hatchback. I love that car. That car gave me a lot of great memories, and I'm going to miss it. Straight up. And that's the first car. Here's something fun. That's the first car that I ever paid fully for on my own. I never owned a car in high school. I would drive my parents. I never had one. College, I didn't own a car. Then my dad bought me a used Corolla my 5th year at St. Louis U. And then when I got a job out of college, I started paying him back for that Corolla. And truthfully, I stopped making payments. I mean, full disclosure, I basically stopped making payments to my old man. Then he didn't say anything because he was a great guy. So that Corolla, so that sentiment, it was like the first car. Again, I know it sounds crazy to think I was that old, but I drove the other Corolla my dad got me in 2004. I had until the end of 2018. So now that's how we get to the Corolla that I just sold. Which, by the way, you cannot beat the CarMax system. I'm going to give them some love. I'm going to give them a free plug right now. Not that they need it. It's pretty efficient, man. You fill it out online. You walk in there. No lie, I walked out with a check in 45 minutes. The guy takes some pictures. He submits it to some analyst. He said in Atlanta, there's no negotiating, which kind of stinks because I had a higher offer from Carvana, but who owns a company called Carline. But you have to do everything yourself, and then they come pick up the car, and it probably takes a few weeks. I like the efficiency of CarMax. It's pretty wild. You walk in, walk out with a nice little check. 45 minutes later, it's that efficient. But again, there was just a part of me, I was like, I think for me, as I talk through this right now, I think it's part of maybe of like letting go to my past, truthfully. If I'm going to put on my psychologist hat for a second, I think that car represented the last of my California. I mean, I was taking that car to the beach. Like I said, I was taking that car on road trips. I had multiple different girlfriends or flings or whatever it was. Like that was my past. And I still had it here. And now it's officially my past. It's done. Now you guys get to keep the Cheerios that were all over the car. Because God forbid a child get the food in their mouth. Why not just throw the Cheerios everywhere? That's another thing I loved about selling the CarMax. The car was disgusting. I took such great care of that car in California. I took such great care of that car. I was taken to the car wash. A little different out there, though. They have car washes everywhere. Full detail car washes, which I loved. At the time, you $25. They take it through a car wash. They clean the inside and outside. $25. They don't really have that here. They have like a car wash you can go through, but it's not like some dude who's going to clean it. Not to the level of California. I took great care of that car. When I started having kids, I did not care at all. That car was so gross. Now, I'm not going to do the same thing with the minivan. I've already decided, like, okay, like it's going to get nasty at times, but like, don't do what you did to the Corolla. Like, don't go crazy and just not care at all. But yeah, I mean, the car was pretty disgusting, the inside. And I mean, I hit somebody with that car. Let's not forget that. I took out the dude by Kroger. Shouldn't say it like that. This could come back to haunt me. He ran in front of me on a scooter. He was the fault. But I'm just saying, I even have a good recent memory of that. There was literally still a big dent in the hood of the car from that guy. So yeah, rest in peace to the Corolla hatchback. We're in a new era of Andy Ruther. We're in the The they them Kia Carnival. Oh, yeah. That's where we're at, guys. We're in this phase. I am trying to prepare for another child. I don't know. I got to paint this week. Brittany's on me. She's not happy. I got to paint the guest bedroom. Molly's going to move into there. And then the baby will move into Molly's room, which has been our smallest bedroom, has been our designated baby room. It comes at you fast, man. Life really does. Coming up on 4 years of this house, moving in. And I remember my brother, I don't know if I shared this recently, but my brother was like, 4 bedrooms, huh? Just you and Brittany? You really think you need a 4-bedroom house? That was 4 years ago. All 4 of those rooms are going to be taken, son. All 4 are going to be taken. 3 little girls. Life comes at you fast. But I gotta paint that room. Brittany's gonna kill me. Especially with the due date, the C-section date in 2 months. I gotta get on that. I just have not. She's doing her woman thing where it's like the room she's figuring out and the how it's gonna be decorated. I literally have not asked a single question, guys. She's like, which color paint do you like? She put some samples on the wall. I was like, I don't really care. You can't care. You see what these children do and you just stop caring. Like our carpet was white when we moved in. Now it looks like a coal miner's face. You ever see a coal miner when they get out? Speaking of Appalachia, to circle back to the beginning of the show about black bears. You ever see a coal miner's face? You seen all the soot? Soot? How's it pronounced? Soot, whatever. I feel like that's what happened to our carpet with having children or having a sick dog. Rest in peace, Roscoe. That was pooping and vomiting. Like there's only so much, like Molly's room. There's only so much cleaning you can do. There's only so much spraying, baking soda. There's only so much you just stop caring. You're just like morally defeated. But we did pay. I'll say this. I think this was a smart move. We did pay to have our house professionally deep cleaned over the weekend. If you would have asked me a few months ago, a few years ago, whatever, would you ever pay for somebody to do this? I'd say no way would I pay that. No way. But I've realized with both of us working full time and having 2 kids, 3 and under, you don't have the time to clean a house. You just don't. You literally do not. Especially if I'm doing podcast at night. There's no time to like deep clean a house. So we paid somebody. We bit the bullet and we're both very happy we did it. Like we had to leave the house. We should have had to leave the house Saturday. 3 women arrived at 9 a.m. and we're here till like 2:33. So they just deep cleaned for like 6.5 hours, 3 women. And the truth is, I felt so much better this week just having the house deep cleaned. And we talked about it. We're like, they're not going to have to deep clean every time. And I was like, if they come once a month, they just clean it pretty good, especially when we have a kid. You feel mentally better. Now, it was pretty wild when she started the deep cleaning that she shattered one of our glass doors from our shower. That was wild, which I learned a lot from that. Apparently, glass doors and showers cannot touch tile. They can't touch anything. It will literally just fragment off like a spider web. I watched it in real time right next to her, and both of us are lucky that shards of glass didn't. I would describe it as an explosion. She put the shower door down on our tile in our bathroom in our master bedroom. And it literally just exploded. No exaggeration. It went into the shower, went into the bedroom, it went into the closet. Like it went everywhere. She had some cuts on her. Thank God my girls had already left. Thank God Brittany and the girls had already left to go to her parents for the day. I had to help her clean it up, and she felt so bad. I was like, no. She's like, I'll replace it. I was like, yeah, it's not a big deal. Like, just replace it. It's just a door. It's just a shower door. But the guy from the glass company, I ended up learning, like, you can't touch. She had to take the doors off to get a good deep clean, right? Which is kind of a pain in the ass. But I deep cleaned that shower before and did the same thing. I didn't know that. So it can touch wood, it can touch carpet, it can touch something soft. It can't touch. If the edge of this glass shower door touches, it just explodes. It was wild to see. Anyway, that was all part of it. But we did get the place deep cleaned, and we feel good. Now I gotta button up some things myself. I gotta paint, and let's go. Baby number 3. Woo, Nelly. I'm not stressing it, but it's starting to hit me. I'll be straight up. I'm not stressing like the other 2, because this is the last hurrah. I'm gonna get snipped for sure. Like, God willing, we have a healthy baby. If that happens, then I'm getting snipped. 3 girls, that's cool. I'm a lucky, blessed, fortunate guy. I'm cool. Getting snipped. That's end of story. We're not trying to run it back again. No sirree. Andy Ruther Show hotline, 859-935-0078. You can give a shout if you want. Again, 859-935-0078. Also, my DMs are always open. I'm at Andy Ruther on all social media. If you enjoy the show, you guys can leave a review on Apple. You can give it 5 stars on Apple. You can give it 5 stars on Spotify. Whatever pleases you. Or if you hate the show, you can leave however many stars you want. Comments are always welcome. DMs are always open. You guys know the drill. Okay, let's wrap it up, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. We'll be back next week. In the words of Walt Ruther, over and out.